Good morning. As soon as I start the show, people are coming by me. Boom, baby, boom! Rise and shine. It's your morning motivation time. Your host with the most is Marky saying every morning I get up and I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to do the show. I'm blessed to breathe. Blessed to walk. I'm blessed to talk. And this morning I'm going to go right into it because, well, shit, man, there's no time for anything anymore. Time just goes by so fast. You got to just jump in it and find shine this morning. It's glorious out. I mean, you can literally see the shine through the clouds. Beautiful park. I'm going to park and spark, enjoy some of this cloudy behavior, and talk about my behavior and the accountability of it and the spirituality of it. Yesterday, I didn't get to do the show. It was Monday. I started answering emails and started talking to people, and it just blew past all my time. So time's of the essence, man. That's all we got. That's all any of us got. And it's the most valuable thing you can give someone, right? So if you want to really love someone, give them time. Give them your time. Give them your love, because ain't nothing else replacing that. No one else is going to come back and go, hey, remember when you spent that weekend with me? Yeah, I want it back. Yeah, it sucks so bad. Give me that back. And it's like, what I started to notice about myself is that I'm arriving. Me, this entity, this attitude, this external, this being, me, just like you, being yourself, what you need to be, loud trucks behind me. And we get into a world where no one seems to really understand themselves. They don't understand their time on the planet. They don't understand or process their purpose. And that sucks. Because, I mean, purpose is what drives us, right? Purpose is what makes us who we are. It makes us the most human that we can be. And when you have a life of purpose, let's get out of the sun real quick and light this blunt, baby. Saint's Addiction's blunt. When you're in your purpose, all of a sudden, things become lighter. Conversations become lighter. Outcomes become lighter. You basically step into your own light. And that's what I was talking about with my spiritual mentor last time. Come on. I'm talking to my spiritual mentor. Yeah. Got my lunch, Zodiacs on shirts, all my fellow Tauruses, and all my Libras. I think it's what, going to the Libra season. Anyway, Zodiacs on shirts if you want one. Every purchase goes towards Thanksgiving. Well, here's my purpose. My purpose on this planet, I feel, is to translate communication. I said it once to a girl before, and I was doing horrible at communicating with her because I was acting a fool and I didn't understand my spirituality. I was too busy being accountable. I was too busy being accurate. And I don't know if anybody else has done. Damn, this thing be flying in. Look, every time I'm out here, motherfuckers trying to roll up. Go ahead, Mr. Roll Up. Go ahead, fly it in. Hopefully they're saving a life. But that's what we need to do. We need to save our lives, It's the SOS, save our souls, sending out the shout for the mixture of accountability and responsibility with spirituality and the unknown. So a lot of us will walk into situations. This just looks beautiful. I want to smell it. Oh my God, it smells so good. Oh my God. Oh, the desert's so unique. Little flowers, a little bit of rain. It's a fucking nice day. And stopping to smell the roses, I jumped into my spirituality, right? I jumped back into my reality. Jump back on the phone, I'm recording, I'm live, my persona. But what I was really saying is, when you arrive, you, your spirit, your being, is it in a way that people can translate? Is it in a way where you can even translate? I think a lot of us get out of our own way, just straight up. I think we're so much in our own heads and in our own situations that we detach ourselves. We detach ourselves from the meaning of situations, that purpose I keep talking about. And it's difficult because motherfuckers be like, plastic pocket challenge. Plastic pocket challenge. Come on, you could have made it 5 yards. Anyway, so keeping the park clean and my mind clean, right? Part of it was having this conversation with my spiritual mentor about, well, everything's love, and if it's meant to be, it'll be. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever talked to somebody, but like, you know, kind of like the Matrix, where they go down the elevator and they go, is that the way it was supposed to happen? It couldn't have happened any other way. And it's happening the way that it is happening, even if it's not the way you wanted it to happen. All right, Shine. Thanks for the cloud cover. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, good morning. Under cloud cover, somewhere between the shine and the darkness is us. Somewhere between our accountability and our spirituality is there. Some of it's so hokey. It's hard for me to take out my accountability. I had made decisions, whether it was under the influence, whether it was because of my environment, whether it was because of my hereditary, my genetics, or predisposition in my character. I acted a fool. I'm in complete, utter lack of explanation for my outburst. You know, my reaction, I was sitting there, I'm staring at the ocean. I had a minute away from her. She walked away from me, and none of that calmed me down. Sitting there talking to my mom, none of that calmed me down. By the time she was in the car, shaking her head at me like she wasn't gonna get out, I was furious. I was so pissed. I lost all candor in spirituality and became forceful and violent. And I didn't hit her, but I'm just saying, like, that anger, this addiction to anger, right? Like, we were talking about it. Thanks God for the cloud cover. We were talking about it, but I mean, I was running on that fuel. I'm running on anger for my whole life because I'm in my world driven, you know? I got to be a success. I got to get up earlier. I got to fight for a position on a mat, in a wrestling match, on the football field, for an angle. Everything's a fucking fight. And I'm learning how to fight. I'm learning how to live my life more better. You know, more better blues, baby. We got to be more better out here. And for most of me and what I'm seeing, it was hard to differentiate. Well, that's just the way it is. You know, if it was meant to be, it'll be. And I felt that that smells so good. If you ever get a chance. Fresh grass. Coughing up. Burping up my smokes. But what it meant for me was the accountability. Sure, we can all be spiritual. Sure, we can all have understanding. But where does the rubber hit the road? Where do you become you? Do you know what I mean? Where do you become accountable for your actions? And that's where I had a tough time, because I'm the one that didn't have enough temper control. I don't have control over my temper at all. I don't know anybody else that's used anger and force or spite for their morning breakfast. How many of us have used our parents rejecting us as our fuel for doing something? Oh, you're not going to let me go out this weekend? Oh, okay. Well, guess what? I'm like you, but smaller and more creative and clever. I'm going to go out and sneak out the window. How many of us are like that? How many of us cannot be told what to do? How many of us are unaccepting of criticism? How many of us are super sensitive? How many of us have attention deficit disorder? All of this combined, right? You know, instant gratification, dopamine dumps, data flying in our brains as soon as we wake up. These computers are slick. They're faster than our spirituality. Our digital upkeep, or I guess the upload speed, isn't as fast as the download speed. Like, we're not downloading our emotions fast enough. Or maybe our emotions are moving faster than the data speed. What I'm saying is there was a blur there. And I don't know exactly how to say it, or, I don't practice my speeches live this morning. I'm just doing my thug dizzle. And I'm in my head, right? These bottles of water. If somebody wants a water, leave it out of the sun, please, and then they can come get it. Okay. Let's go, dog walker. Keep it on a leash. Dogs must be on a leash. Must be on a leash. Every time I'm out here, somebody's out here without a leash, literally at this sign. All feces must be removed. Control your animals at all times. I've been to the park too, trying to share it with people, and they're just being their normal, I want to be free, but not you be free. My dog's more free than you are. It has no leash. And you're like, I'm out here without a leash, but I know how to stop. Or I thought I knew how to stop. I said that before, talk about animals. I was like, my mom can't control me. Nobody can control me. And then at that point, I realized not even me could control me. So I have habits. I have emotional outbursts. I have violent ways. I can be very animal. Even with everything on the line, I couldn't see the forest for the trees. I couldn't act like a better version of me. And even though with foresight and information and knowing what I knew, I still couldn't stop acting like me. And I'm is that it? Am I just some kind of log that floats down the river and sometimes gets jammed up? Are we all destined to be just our own destiny and nothing more? So beautiful. So beautiful. Damn, bro. I don't know, man. If I had acted better, the outcome would have been better. And when you put in the effort, like exercise, your body feels better. There's got to be something to be said about our own energies inside of us and what we do with our energy. It's not easy. And it ain't gonna be, being a better version of ourselves when it's so easy to be the lazy version of ourselves. So easy to still be spiteful, angry, despondent, not caring. I think they have this term in China too, where these new guys are like, man, I'm not gonna be living behind a desk my whole life. It's like a Chinese term for slackers, where these people, they don't put any effort at all. Actually, they mastered the level of no effort, right? This overachieving that all of us do. So you have corporate ladder climbers, people that are super A-type and want to fucking get the title bump and something that says their name on a certain title, on a certain business card with a certain logo. And there's other people that want nothing to do with logos. They want nothing to do with the bullshit. They want to be free. They want to be in the grass. They want to be spiritual. So I ask you, both versions of ourselves, saintsaddiction over here, baby, both versions of yourself, the dichotomy of humans, the dichotomy of opportunities, like the roads that we choose, right? Before we develop our character and our persona. Sorry. Trying to get that out of my mouth. Anyway, I don't want to hear that truck anymore. I'm going to go this direction. I don't know why he's on the side of the road. But anyway, loud ass truck. But that's my point. Where's the point where we interact as ourselves in the world? Or are we acting as our persona? Or are we acting as a spirit? Do you know what I mean? Are we showing up as people, real people that understand ourselves and communicate better and try harder? I always thought that's what it was all about. And then your boy, the morning motivation, had no answer for my fragility. I came across the world sick. I give you plenty of excuses. I just wasn't all there. I didn't see how important it was, or it's just my character is flawed. That's where I'm at with it. I mean, I'd love to hear if you guys get a chance to listen to my spiritual mentor, Terry Prince, call in and talk about everything's love and we don't see the design and God's plan. And I don't know, same shit your friends probably tell you, right? It wasn't your time. You'll be a father eventually, I promise. And I'm sitting there and I was like, I was supposed to be a father then. I was supposed to have this child with this woman, so set the gods and the stars on my spiritual level. Then my ego showed up and I got in fear. I felt like she was going to leave me, like my mom left, the destruction of our family, the whole relationship. I got to mention it because it's part of my story. But my parents got divorced when I was really young. It split up our whole family. We've never been the same. And my biggest fear was to end up with a woman with my children at the police station because my parents couldn't exchange the children safely, peacefully. You know, they were just so at each other's throat that the law made them come to the police station so they could switch up the children. Us, me, my family. And instead of being loving and nurturing to this woman, I made her a adversity. I made her competition, or maybe she made herself in the competition. But anyway, the team wasn't fixed. There was no team where it was just like me. I can kick you out, you can kick me out. I'll fly in, I'll fly out, on, off, really good feelings, really bad feelings, you know? And I'm sitting there and people go, well, obviously this wasn't supposed to be the mother of your children. And I went, obviously I fucked it up. Just straight up, in my own world, I have to be accountable. I can't go part of the way and say, oh yeah, you know, the spirit said it wasn't in alignment. That's why my child wasn't alive. I'm like, this child was kicking. This child had a heartbeat. That means life. That means reality. I live in a reality where that life was killed because of my anger, because of my temper and my character. I am being responsible, radically responsible for what had happened. Not because she called me a name or she said what she said or did what she did. Me, this individual, this being has responsibility, has action, has the now. And we are so much more powerful in the now. The decisions that we're going to make and the actions we're going to take are dictated by our spirit before we calculate it. Before we start to truncate it and try to make it into some kind of category. We're very categorical creatures, but we're also very emotional creatures. We want to shape the world, but we also want to feel the world. We want to experience everything, but be safe. And it's so dichotomy, they're so different that you're going to be like, okay, that was supposed to be spiritual, it wasn't your time. And you just go, what kind of shit is that? What kind of action of a human am I and her to make this kind of decision? To force her, me, spiritually, force her into an unsafe situation where she didn't find safe around the father of her child. It's her child too, but she'd much rather stop me and get rid of me and get rid of a baby than to acknowledge that she also had the sex, she also was pregnant, and that was a baby that was alive. You killed your own baby. You might want to say you killed our relationship, which you definitely did, but you never killed my spirit. That's what we keep talking about Robert Greene. We're talking about spirit, and he goes, you know, if you get shut down by the lesson, if you don't see the blessing in the lesson, the blessing in the lesson, then you've missed the point and the other one has won. Whoever has defeated you in life, the things that you just processed and said, okay, this is my lot. You know what I'm saying? In life, this is my lot and I'm this way. You know, you've been defeated. You've been taught a lesson, and instead of learning it, it sat you down. You're still studying it. Does that make sense to other people? That the lesson stayed and controlled them. That they have lost to the feeling. After the rejection, after the end, it's so nice that the cloud cover is over me right now. After rejection, after the end, there you are as a being, right? Processing, right? Emotions, situations. This guy was talking about it. He's a fighter. And I was listening to a 21 convention, and he was talking about how he used to get beat up physically and how he had to learn martial arts and now how he can defend himself. And he learned from, Navy SEALs and guys that literally went out to study fighting, right? Like what works, what doesn't, eye gouging, crotch kick, whatever. But the one thing he said is the calm. It was the step back that I didn't have. I didn't have a step back. I had all force, just mais forza, just all the force, all the energy, all systems go, shoot, kill, 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 kill. I'm the dark side. I'm like the Star Wars that thinks I see Obi-Wan Kenobi and I just lose it. I just shoot everything and realize he's just a hologram. Our fear is the hologram. Our energy are the missiles. We are shooting at things that we think is the enemy. We are killing babies. We are killing love. We are killing relationships, all because we think that that's the hologram. That's Obi-Wan right in front of us right now. Shoot everything. And little did we do, but what he was explaining to do is to step back. He said as soon as the person starts getting, bad idea, bro. Bad idea. Because guess what? You're wasting your energy. You're wasting your missiles. You're wasting your focus. You need to step back. Assess the situation. I should have asked what was important to me. The baby was important to me. The relationship was important to me. Not the argument and not who was right or who was wrong or who could make who do what, where, how, when. The control and the ego took over. My spiritual side did not show up. I didn't want to assess the situation. I didn't do my homework. I didn't put my eyes on it. I just put my heart in it. And somewhere between that heart spiritual realm and me learning from myself, being calculating. Is there anything I could fall back on? The guy said so many people, you could fall, it doesn't even have to be a punch. Sometimes people slip, fall, hit the back of their head and they're dead. You didn't see the table behind you. When I had my event, and thank God this guy didn't die, that would have really ruined my event. That would have, I had a gun pulled on me. I put a meth head in a headlock, but at 5 a.m. But this guy got hit by that same guy I put in a headlock, and he fell inches away. He was already knocked out from the, what do you call those? The pallet. There was a pallet on the ground behind him, and when he got knocked out, he missed the back of his head by like that much. And you swear it's just a moment in the drive-thru, right? Give me my fucking chicken nuggets. You swear it's just a moment by the Pacific Ocean. Get the fuck out of the car. You swear these moments, your son's hurt, and you tell him, get the fuck up. We are missing opportunities to not only just be our serious self, the tough love like I was talking about that really doesn't work, or our alive self, our spiritual self, this loving force that's in all of us that says, man, I really love you, are you okay? Instead of, don't be a pussy, we don't cry. Mixed messages, man. We talk about male toxicity all the time. And female toxicity too, to spread this, I don't need a man, I don't need a team, I don't need another half, I just need money, and that's gonna fix everything. We all figured it out, it's not enough. There is not a number that is enough. There's not enough in your bank account, and it never will be. And that's a sad thing, is like we're built to count numbers, again, categorical creatures. As long as XYZ happens, this, ABC will happen. And we're okay with the functionality of the equation. We're okay with the input-output dynamic. I'm not talking like that anymore. I'm talking about switching the dynamic. I'm talking about bringing the best out of myself. Mostly saints, we got that halo and horn. What do we present to the world? Do we present our fear self, our fear-based self that is distrusting of people and isn't honest with oneself? Do you feel what I'm saying? Like that radical self-reliance, That radical honesty, that's the depth that I want to see. That's why I do this show, is to go into there and go, maybe it happened the way it was supposed to happen, but it could have happened better if you had more education, more of a step back, and more of self-control. And that's what I ended up doing. This whole thing, it's a whole jump rope. Holy shit, a whole brand new jump rope. No way. Guess it's mine now. I love jump rope. It's great exercise. But that's all it is, man. This is an exercise. We have to exercise these demons. We have to exercise the hard parts. You know, it's easy to us to just get on the phone and turn on the TV and press the microwave. And then there's like a whole world that's out there where it's fresh grass and, you know, mountains and weather and a whole world out there. So we have to be really conscious about what world we're living in. You know, straight up, are we living from a spiritual place with purpose? Or are we living with a fear-based place with math, where it's all about how much money I have, or what am I wearing, or what do they drive? And I live in this judgmental world where all I see is fake eyelashes, fake tits, and fake personalities, instead of human being, smile, aura, you know, beauty. So that's where I want to be. I want to be in the beauty. I want to be in the spirituality. Yes, I have acknowledgments and responsibilities, working on those and being forthright about it. You know, they said if we're telling 3 lies every 10 minutes, just start telling 3 truths about yourself every 10 minutes. Be like, same bitch, me too movement. Me too, I get anxiety. Me too, I get fear. Me too, I get self-conscious. I almost said unconscious. You don't want to be unconscious. I wanted people to wake up. I didn't want them to be sedated any longer and knocked the fuck out, and life just goes past them and they don't know what's going on. It was meant to be, it's up to me. And I have that kind of stick-to-itiveness, self-acknowledgement, and self-accountability. For reals. I can't just put it on her and say, well, obviously she was a bad mom, and oh, obviously you guys weren't meant to be, you guys were arguing, and obviously with the outcome it wasn't meant to be. And I said, no, I can't take a hide behind excuses. I have to take radical responsibility for what I've done and who I am and my character flaws, so I can work on those things. If we never accept it, if we never concentrate on it, we can't work on it. It's like the first steps of, the 12-step program in Alcoholics Anonymous in A2 is admitting that you have an issue. You know, if you want to stay in denial, you'll always put roses around the grave, but it doesn't mean someone's not dead inside. And it doesn't matter how many times you dance the queen around, eventually she needs to be buried. That's what I'm talking about. Where we bury our truths, we bury the truth, the spirituality of it. We actually bury ourselves into ourselves. And that's a very deep metaphor. So we put ourselves into the ground. We came from the inside of a person. We're not going back inside of a person. So it's a very interesting cycle. You know, like this is our cycle. I wanted people to cycle up and do the things necessary for them to be better human beings. So that's my morning motivation. I hope you got something out of it. It's your boy Marky saying Saints Addiction. Get the hat. If you want a hat, Saints Giving is all the proceeds go there. 22% of every purchase. It's a gift back. That's my way of changing the world. This is my way of punching a dent into it and bending her over and saying, you know, I existed for a reason. My ideas have fundamental sounds, and I can be a better person. And that's why I got to just talk about this morning. Just that, you know, finding it in your heart. You know, they always say that, but I always say from my heart from the start, you know. It comes from a good place. It might not always end in a good place, but at least you can keep a smile on your face and a halo above your head. That's your morning marijuana motivation. If you got anything out of this, like, share, and subscribe. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side. Ciao.